الحمد لله نحمده ونستغفره ونستعينه ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي المقصرة أولا بتقوى الله، فاتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ثم أما بعد. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious and the most merciful. The best of his peace and blessing shall be bestowed upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and upon those who follow his footsteps. In a very famous hadith that's known by the sentence هذا جبريل جاء ليعلم الناس دينهم, hadith al-sahih that we all know, a man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asking him initially three questions. What is al-iman, what is al-islam, and what is al-ihsan? In the first question, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam answers the principles of iman, the faith, what should reside in your heart as a Muslim. In the second question, what is Islam? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered the actions, the application of iman. What should every one of us do to rise to that level? And in the third question about al-ihsan, the answer was أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. To obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you see him. What does that mean? In simple terms, if someone asked you to do something and this person, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلِ الْأَعْلَى, turned his back away on you, you might do it, you might not. Or you might do it, but not as well as the person asked you to do it, not as well as you should. But if that person is continuously monitoring you, for those of us that are, we're all working, we all have managers, we all have bosses, or students when they have their teachers, anybody that's being watched will naturally adhere to the orders. Anybody that's not watched will tend to move away or deliver less. So when we look at the three levels, al-iman, strong faith, al-islam, the actions, the orders, following the orders, then al-ihsan is adhering to the orders as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. What does that mean? Even if no humans are watching, even if your parents are not watching, even if your friends are not watching, even if the community is not watching, you're adhering. Because it's personal between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's how it becomes genuine and it becomes real, irrespective of the condition. As a matter of fact, this is the best way to adhere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands in the worst conditions. And now I'm talking about a society that's full of fitan. I'm talking about our children. How to raise children in a way where they can adhere without monitoring. They become self-monitoring. And I'm also talking about us adults. Because it's definitely better if we receive this training at a young age. From a very young age, we get trained to reach the level of ihsan in everything we do, by the way. Manhaj dunya wa deen. These principles will give you success in your religion and in your deen, in your dunya. At work, there are processes, rules, and regulations. You adhere to them on your own without needing someone to monitor. You self-monitor. Same thing in your deen. How do we create a generation of ihsan that's capable of adhering, following and applying without having to be monitored? And how do we, as adults, reach that level? Or did we lose the opportunity? No, we didn't. Because Rasulullah said, إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ بِالتَّعَلُّمِ وَالْحِلْمُ بِالتَّحَلُّمِ. There's always a chance to learn. There is always a chance to practice. And there is always a chance to get trained. So don't lose hope. Whether you're young or old, you can master, inshallah, the level of ihsan. Let's start with what needed. What is needed for us to reach the level of ihsan? There are two things from a long research that I believe, Allahu A'lam, are the basis of helping a person to reach the level of ihsan. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us understand and to help us all apply this knowledge. Ameen. The first principle or the first element of reaching ihsan is the principle of al-FITRA. And I did speak intensively about al-FITRA in a khutbah that was given on February of this year, and it's available on YouTube. And I encourage you to go back and watch it so you can tie both together. Al-FITRA is a very important built-in device or mechanism that will help you reach ihsan. Quickly to review, what is al-fitra? We said al-fitra is for you to assess everything in life, every matter, based on benefit and harm. Knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His orders made everything that was made haram, we know it's because it's harmful. And everything that was made halal, we know that it's beneficial. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also mentioned in many ayat, and I mentioned Surah Taha verse 89, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, على فرعون أفلا يرون ألا يرجع إليهم قولا ولا يملك لهم ضرا ولا نفعا. In this ayah, Harun is talking about Bani Israel, and he's wondering, how would you worship a statue? How would you do it? How did you make that decision? Can't you see that this statue will not harm you nor benefit you? And this is a question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to every human being. Because al-fitra was given to all human beings. Al-fitra is the hudan lin-nas. The huda is the guidance given to all humanity, which is al-fitra. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala built in us senses to reject harm and accept benefit. So if humans are trained to make their decisions based on harm and benefit, and the information are presented honestly, it's a different story, but if you see the harm and benefit, we human being will follow benefit. And by following benefit, it will eventually lead you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who gave us all the benefits on earth. So, training our kids to always follow harm and benefit in their assessments. Even when we present to them anything in Islam as laws or halal and haram, we have to show them the harm and benefit, and to let them know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to benefit and He wants to push away harm from you. Step number one. Step number two, which is the topic of today's khutbah, is al-rushd. So we said al-fitra is the first thing we need to learn and teach our kids. Second thing is al-rushd. What is al-rushd? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about this in many, many verses. And we hear the word rushd, rashada, RASHIDOON, RASHIDOON, a lot. How can we make this world or understand this word and translate it into actions in our life? What does it mean? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hujurat, وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانَ وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ وَكَرَّهَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْكُفْرَ وَالْفُسُوقَ وَالْعِصْيَانَ أُولَئِكَ هُمُ الرَّاشِدُونَ. The idea of rushd, it's extremely important for the task of navigating through difficult decisions and through al-fitan that we have around us. In it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's addressing al-muslimin, al-mu'mineen, the ones that accept Islam as a sort of guidance. So this piece of guidance is للمتقين. The first one, al-fitra, is للناس جميع, whether you believe or not. If you act based upon that principle, it will help you. But this one now, you're a Muslim, you believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah's giving you another piece of guidance. حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانِ. You need to love faith. Our kids have to love faith. We have to love. And love is a heart attachment, belief, and attached. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. At-tazyin is beautifying, glamorizing. When you see something beautiful, naturally you would want it. You will have the inclination to move towards it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of humans and the psychology of humans, He knows how we will act and react. So, He's saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has beautified Iman in your heart. So, how do we make our kids love Iman? Not by presenting it in an ugly way, forceful, maybe violent and harsh. It's not going to make them love an Iman. Even for us, if Iman is presented to us in a very harsh way, which is unfortunately a traditional way in the past maybe 50, 100 years, this is why you'll feel that some of our kids, they will run away, or even some adults. Every time you read a story or you hear an interview of a person that's bragging about finding the light and leaving Islam, they talk about harshness. They talk about how they've been treated in madrasa. They talk about the ugliness. And unfortunately, these are humans' mistakes. Have nothing to do with Islam, because Islam is beautiful. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, tazyin, show the beauty of it. Now we have harm and benefit, and we have beauty. Hasan, istihsan, love, hubb, beautiful words. Once we present this in a proper manner, we see the beauty in Islam because it is beautiful. We're not making things up. We're not lying. We don't need to lie to our kids to make them love Islam. We just need to show them the beauty and present it in the right way. That will make them love. When they love, they adhere. On the other side, what happens is, there's a lot of beautification around us that's happening on daily basis for real ugly things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Fatir, فَمَنْ زُيِّنَ لَهُ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ فَرَآهُ حَسَنًا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يُضِلُّ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the other party that's trying to beautify things that are considered su', khabath, things that are bad. In another ayah in Surah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أَفَمْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّهِ كَمَنْ زُيِّنَ لَهُ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُمْ evil is being beautified, my dear brothers and sisters, every day. Sexual contest, violence, everything around us is being beautified. And this beautification is the way to the heart. Things that are really, really in essence terrible and bad and horrible, they're being presented to our kids in a very beautiful way. They accept it on the account of what? Their iman. Because it contradicts iman, but at this stage they cannot tell the difference of iman and kufr and khair and shar, because it's not about that anymore. It's about what's beautiful in my eyes. And my ahwa, my desires have been attached to this beautiful thing, and then I will start seeing an iman as something ugly. Things that we see unfortunately a lot nowadays. The other part, the continuation of the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَرَّهَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْكُفْرَ وَالْفُسُوقَ وَالْعَصْيَانِ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الرَّاشِدُونَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you hate al-kufr, covering the truth, as we said. Al-fusuq, straying away from the right path. Al-asyan, sins. So we see here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about love and hate, aversion, rejection of anything ugly and bad. To make it simple, imagine a child that's raised to love al-iman. قلبه مستقر. He's happy when he's performing his salah. He's happy when he's reading the Quran. He wants to be like mommy and daddy when they pray their salah. She wants to be like mommy and wear her hijab. They love it. They're raised with this loving sense of adhesion and attraction and maintenance of their deen and qiyam and values. On the other hand, they have this sense of aversion, rejection of everything bad and evil. And it's clearly bad and evil. This child will not need anybody to tell him or her, do or do not do. In many cases, they will realize when they see something, they have this sense. No, I can't, no, I don't want this. It's bad. Maybe they don't know details. Maybe there are no scientific facts about it. But they have the sense that's protecting them. Al-rushd. What is al-rushd? أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الرَّاشِدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, famous ayah, لَا إِكْرَاهَ فِي الدِّينِ قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. At that stage where the child tells the difference with their emotions, with their feelings, they love the right and they reject the evil. At this stage, لَا إِكْرَاهَ فِي الدِّينِ. You're not going to force them. You're not going to hit them. You're not going to beat them up. You're not going to keep nagging. Do. Because قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. الرُّشْد is clear and the ضَلَالَ is clear. In another ayah, وَإِنْ يَرَوْا سَبِيلَ الرُّشْدِ لَا يَتَّخِذُوهُ سَبِيلًا وَإِنْ يَرَوْا سَبِيلَ الْغَيِّ يَتَّخِذُوهُ سَبِيلًا. Some people, even if they see the sabil of rushd, and we'll come to the word of rushd, they will not follow it. They will just not follow it, although they see sabil al-rushd, because their heart is attached to something else. When they were raised, the parents did not pay attention. What is their heart is attached to? What is it attached to? It's all about the heart, my dear brothers and sisters. Look into your heart and the heart of your children. If they reject salah, if they reject the Quran, what is their heart? Their heart has to be attached to something. Search. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in Surah Al-Kahf, إِذْ أَوَى الْفِتْيَةُ إِلَى الْكَهْفِ فَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا آتِنَا مِنْ لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا مِنْ أَمْرِنَا رَشَدًا. The only thing that they asked for when they were in the mountains running away from the tyrant king that wanted to punish them and execute them, what did they want? Rashad. Rushd. What is a rushd? A rushd explained, I sum it up in one sentence. القدرة الذاتية على الاستقامة التي توصل إلى الصلاح في أمر الدين وهو الأكثر والصلاح في أمر الدنيا أيضا. الرشد is the self-ability to adhere to the straight path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That will help you perfect or improve your deen and dunya. So imagine if we all and our children have this strong sense that will give us the self-guiding mechanism, that will give us the self-guidance and the ability to adhere to the straight path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on our own, without having been told, without having been forced, without having been pushed. On our own, we want to follow the straight path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will lead us to the beautiful dunya and beautiful deen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst them. وَأَقُولُ قَوْلِي هَذَا وَأَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ لَكُمْ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوهُ وَيَا فَوْزَ الْمُسْتَغْفِرِينَ. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. طيب. الفطرة and الرشد. Two things that we need for ourselves and our children to be able to navigate through the tough times that we're in. Well, what's happening around us? What's happening in schools? What's happening in our society? What are our children being taught outside? What kind of feelings are they developing that would create that love maybe to something else? A lot of things. Most of you parents, you have your kids in schools, you know this, and some of you don't. So let's talk about things that we need to pay attention to. And things that could be really, really small. They could appear trivial to somebody. You could think, this is, what are you talking about? This is silly. But remember, that sense of rushd starts with little things. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about خطوات الشيطان. لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. There's steps. Do not undermine the small things because they grow to become dangerous. One thing that I have been discussing with many people for a long time, the presentation of pigs in curriculum. You talk to people and say, Akhi, you know, you look at the books, exercises for little children, and you see a picture of a pig. You say, Akhi, don't buy stories that have pigs in it. Ya Akhi, why? It's a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah created it. Why are you being so? Ya Akhi, okay, we know it's a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But remember the notion of tazyin. When the pig is presented in an abstract way as an animal, and this is how it looks, and this is, you know, what you need to know about it, that's fine. But when it's beautified, nice and pinky, beautiful and cute, what does that do? Remember that tazyin, that beautification will create attachment and love. طيب, so what? It's haram, and because it's haram, it falls either under kufr or fusuq or asyan. You have to hate it. You have to have aversion to it. You have to reject it. Because this is your first line of defense, is when a child sees something haram, says, ew. No, no, no. But when we let go of this small thing that appears small to a lot of people, there's more to come. If you don't apply it on the small things, you can't apply it on the bigger stuff. So I want to invite you to evaluate and re-evaluate what we teach our kids in their books. And by the way, this does not only exist in public school. It does exist in some Islamic schools, unfortunately. And we say, Jazahumullah khair, for all the great work that they're doing. But it's time to improve. I'm not saying Islamic schools are bad. They're good, they're trying their best. Let's improve. Let's go back and talk to our Islamic schools and address these issues. It's time of improvement. Inshallah, we'll be able to get rid of these little problems. What else happening in our schools? Cross-gender interaction relationships. In public schools, you know your children are exposed to gender interaction. Boys and girls intermingling, playing, calling each other friends. And you know, we had a big talk about the idea of friendship. Breaking the barriers, breaking the haya, and that's leading them to a lot more. Things that we need to pay attention to. This overexposure. Where is it going to lead them? When boys have no haya from girls and girls have no haya from boys. Now I'm not calling for complete segregation. I'm just calling for, I mean, maybe we can't do anything about public schools. Those of us that don't have an option, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, try to work on it outside the school. Do something. Just address it, at least. Address it. Don't make it sound like it's normal. And if we talk about Islamic schools, it's a plea to all Islamic schools. Please, do something about it. Because it is leading people to, or our children, to accepting the idea of being close. Whether we like it or not. It's growing. The over-promotion and exposure of bad behaviors, violence, blood. Where do they see that? Books, movies, perfect timing, Halloween. What's the problem with Halloween? Nothing, it's just candy. Why the attachment to the evil side of it? The overexposure of blood, of evil, of vampires, why? What are we doing to our kids here? Put all these things together, we are desensitizing our kids from everything that's known to be bad in the name of fun, and the name of joy, and the name of candy. We just said al-rushd is the sense of rejection to all harm and love to all benefits and halal. Sense of rejection to everything haram and love to halal. But if we're sending mixed messages to our children, where everything bad, they're seeing it as fun, how are they going to develop rushd? Halloween is simple and innocent, that some people might say it is. It's shooting down the rushd in your children. This is what it's doing. Because if this is fun and joy, there's a lot more that's going to be. Killing is going to be fun and joy. Violence is going to be fun and joy. Disrespecting parents when some shows for children, all what they teach them is disrespecting your parents. And it's fun and joy. If you see your children disrespecting you, I invite you to go check what kind of shows are they watching. Because that's what they teach them. What are they going to get rushd from? No rushd. They can't work on their own. They can't make right decisions. How far could it get? And I end with this. Pigs, basita, no problem. Gender interaction, okay. Violence and Halloween, mashi. Now we're talking about Playboy magazine. We're talking about our daughters and sisters discussing the validity of accepting an interview by a Playboy magazine. And I'm not talking appearing, la samahullah, unclothed. We all know about Sister Nurta Juri and her story with the Playboy magazine. And she said that she did consult. Listen to this. Wallahi, now I feel sorry for her. May Allah help her and help all our children. Because I take responsibility for this, and each and every one of you should take responsibility, because our children, especially the ones that are 20s now, they're faced with challenges that they don't know how to deal with. I'm sure she had good intentions of spreading the power of the new Muslim generation. I have no doubt. In my heart, I'm giving her that excuse. But what are you doing? She's saying that she was mentored and she consulted her parents and I don't know, imams, and she consulted adults. She consulted people with experience and they agreed on this. She appears in a Playboy magazine. She was interviewed by them to talk about, what is she talking about? Well, let me tell you what the magazine, we all know who Playboy magazine, I'm going to explain that. It's a source of degradation for women. It's a source of objectifying women and using and abusing women. This is what this magazine is known to be. And then the sister decides to give an interview. The opening of this now they're changing their style to reach out to more people. And they have this, what they call the Renegades of 2016. Meet the Renegades. What does renegade mean? Renegade means the people that will leave something to go to something else. The people that will break the rules. In Arabic, al-munshaq, or you could even say al-murtad. الذي ينشق عن الجماعة أو ينشق عن أمر أو ينشق عن. They're featuring people that are breaking the rules, and they say in this project, the men and women in this series will change how you think about business, music, porn, comedy, gaming, and more. They've risked it all, these courageous people. They've risked it all, even their lives, to do what they love, showing us what can be accomplished if we break the rules. Another challenge all of your children are facing, how to be courageous. This society is about being brave and courageous to break the rules. You go watch a commercial on TV, and I said that before. It's about women, forgot what it's called, but break the rules. I don't want to say it on the minbar. Break the rules. Everything's about what rules do we want to break? Our deen? Our principles? Sister Noor, if they're telling you this is about people that want to break the rules, what rules are you breaking? Read the article. It's not too bad, wallahi. But subhanAllah, the outlet is wrong. What is she saying? Part of her words in her article, the society is desensitized. Listen to this. The society is desensitized to violence, abuse, death, rape, and trauma. Well, don't you know that this magazine is a big cause of rape? Is a big cause of trauma? When people get over-sexualized, they do these things. These are not my words. This is what the research says. The funny part, I read two comments on this article. One came from a man and one from a woman. The woman appeared to be a religious Christian woman. She said, why would you choose this outlet? You have something to say it in a clean outlet. Non-Muslim. The man says, I'm so proud of her. She's very courageous. But when I looked at the magazine, I was expecting her to be more courageous. Meaning what? Meaning what? He was hoping for her to appear unclothed. That for him is courage. This is the society that we live in. The society that, unfortunately, commercialization, corporates, they want us to break all the rules. And it becomes easy on our children to do this because they are desensitized. And it starts with as simple as the pig engraved in kindergarten. When they get attracted to a pig in kindergarten, as small, as silly as it is, they lose this sense of right and wrong, their sense of iman, hubb al-iman. They lose their sense of aversion to everything haram. And it grows and grows, خطوات الشيطان, till it reaches to a discussion in our community that's been supported by shuyukh, justifying this action. Please pay attention to these details. Please re-inject al-FITRA and al-rushd into your children and into yourself. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us, help us see the right path. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us all. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us al-rushd ya Rabbal Alameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the guidance ya Rabbal Alameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and protect our children. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us and help us navigate through these rough times. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help all the weakness across the globe. إن الله على كل شيء قدير. اللهم بارك يصلون على النبي يا الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم بارك سيدنا محمد وعلى صحبه أجمعين. إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله يذكركم واستغفروا يغفر لكم والله يعلم ما تصنعون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.